Did Boris Johnson destroy the UK? Well, obviously he didn't set up a nuke in the heart of London, destroy the UK and make us all zombies. And this video is being recorded from Valhalla. Different religions, I know. But no, Boris Johnson. Did Boris Johnson destroy the credibility of politicians? Did he destroy the credibility of the UK? Did he destroy the integrity of the UK? Did he destroy the economic prosperity of the UK? Did he destroy any kind of trust in politics? Did he fuel disenfranchisement within the UK among citizens according to their politicians? Yes. Yes, he did. Boris Johnson is a guy who walked into Parliament with an 83-seat majority. 83 seats, the biggest majority any Conservative leader has gotten since Margaret Thatcher. He was as popular, I'd say, at the start of his tenure? Can you even say tenure? As Margaret Thatcher was in hers. He was the man who got Brexit done. Spoilers, he didn't. Okay? And this was a guy who had so much ahead for him politically that he could do anything. He could pass anything. Okay, he had so much political capital, it was unbelievable, especially in this day and age. Completely trounced the likes of Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, David Cameron, Nick Clegg, whatever. Boris Johnson was the guy. Everybody loved him. But he took his time in office and he destroyed it. The more time went on, the more Brexit turned out to be phony, a charlatan, a hollow cask of its former promises. We kind of got over the Brexit stuff. We're like, you know what? Because people were living in perpetuity, they were saying, oh, you know, maybe Brexit will get better. You know, we need a few years to let Brexit settle in, like it's a new car you've just gotten for the family. We need Brexit to settle in, give it a bit of time, then it'll be part of the family. No. And then COVID came along, and people are like, yeah, clapping for our NHS. The NHS that the Conservatives, including Boris Johnson, starved over 13 years. Yeah, COVID vaccines, whoa! And then he comes out of the dispatch box and says, you know, it's because we were no longer part of the European Medicines Agency, blah, 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 if that's even true, that we got our vaccines faster. No, because we bought more of them and put our order in first. That's all it was. And then it turns out that throughout all this nationalism, patriotism that we felt towards our unbecoming leader was done in vain. Boris Johnson he may not have been shagging the birds behind the bar and having a fucking Pinot Grigio, but he was certainly having a good time. He was certainly having a closer time than the rest of us were, having to hug our families at a window, having to hug our families through a polythene sheet, having to watch our families die on FaceTime. That is the COVID we experienced, but that was not the COVID that Boris Johnson experienced. That was not the COVID experience that he perpetuated onto his comrades, onto his subordinates. He was like, I didn't see a thing. I didn't see any parties taking place. You probably fucking heard about it though, Mr. Johnson, and you did nothing, because that's the kind of culture you ran at 10 Downing Street and in the cabinet all together. And we all forget that he got fined, and that Twitchy Sunak, or the crime minister, that he got charged and had to pay a fine for breaking the lockdown rules. And now he's our prime minister. Okay? Twitchy Sunak is our prime minister, the guy who got a fine, just like Boris Johnson. So yes, did Boris Johnson destroy the UK? He didn't set a bomb off, but he did set a metaphorical bomb off in the heart of UK politics. He completely discredited the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party have never recovered from the Partygate scandal to when Sue Gray just destroyed him. And even now, Boris Johnson is at COVID committees explaining how he lost all these WhatsApps. And so is Twitchy Sunak. Because they were incriminating. Because there were some bad things going on in there that they didn't want you to know about. And yeah, so Boris Johnson didn't destroy the UK, didn't set a bomb off, but in terms of in terms of the integrity of UK politics and disenfranchisement of ordinary citizens to UK politics, he was catastrophic. Catastrophic is not the word. Apocalyptic. Boris Johnson was apocalyptic when it came to the destruction of UK politics. Okay? But that's how he works. You look at Boris Johnson's history. His history is replete with him lying about writing articles and information and sources. He got fired from his job at wherever it was, the Telegraph or whatever, because he lied. He was having it off with women whilst he was working as a newspaper editor. He was having it off while he was becoming the Prime Minister of the UK. Boris Johnson is the same. A leopard does not change its spots. A zebra does not change its stripes. God knows if that's a real euphemism. But yeah, Boris Johnson destroyed the UK, and he lost all credibility, in my opinion, after the COVID scandal, after the Partygate scandal, after the Queen had to mourn her own husband of over 70 years alone in Westminster Abbey, when the Queen was shedding a tear and she could not be consoled by her loved ones in those wooden benches. That is when Boris Johnson lost all credibility. And when Liz Truss, all the letters, which one lasted long? After Liz Truss got ousted as the Prime Minister and everybody was raising their eyebrows to a phenomenal return for Boris Johnson, Boris Johnson soon ducked out of the race. He knew that the COVID inquiry, the inquiry that said whether he was in contempt of Parliament, when he said that he didn't know anything about these parties and blah blah blah, he got found to be guilty. He even quit Parliament. He even quit as an MP. He's got nothing to do with UK politics whatsoever, because he knew he was in the wrong. He knew he had done injustices to the UK parliamentary system, and I'd actually say good riddance. I hope we never get another Prime Minister like him. What we do need is a credible Prime Minister, a person who loves their country and has integrity and doesn't spin his way out of a shitstorm like all other politicians do. So, I've been Jake from Just Jake. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the channel, share the channel. It helps me out massively. And why wouldn't you? You're all nice people. Okay, be part of my subscriber base. It's a lovely place to be. So, thank you for watching. And remember, make love, not war, because what's the point? Goodbye. Did you like the video? Then hit the subscribe button, or watch some more videos. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. Thank you very much.